In the quiet, rural village of San Isidro, life moved at a peaceful pace. The sun rose early, casting its warm light over the rolling fields and filling the air with the scent of fresh earth. It was a place where traditions ran deep and hard work was the norm. For Jeraldine, a 24-year-old daughter of farmers, this village was home, where she had learned resilience, perseverance, and the importance of family. But even as she lived a life deeply rooted in her family's vegetable farming business, Jeraldine's dreams reached far beyond the confines of the village. Every morning, Jeraldine and her mother, Aling Rosa, woke before dawn. Together, they harvested vegetables, bitter melons, tomatoes, eggplants, and leafy greens under the soft glow of the early morning sun. By mid-morning, they would load up their wooden cart and head to the market in the town center. Aling Rosa, with her wisdom and years of experience, had mastered the art of selling, but Jeraldine was the one with ideas for growth. The market was their battleground. Surrounded by other vendors, they had to compete for the attention of shoppers. It wasn't easy, and the profits were modest at best. But Jeraldine was never discouraged. She saw something in their small business that others couldn't, a future where their family's produce wouldn't just be sold at the local market, but distributed across the region and maybe even nationwide. Jeraldine had always been observant. She noticed how certain vendors attracted more customers with better presentation or unique products. Determined to give their business an edge, she convinced her mother to diversify their offerings. They began growing herbs, organic vegetables, and harder-to-find produce that catered to a more health-conscious crowd. With each passing month, Jeraldine's changes began to pay off. Their small stall became one of the most popular in the market. Customers admired the freshness of their produce, and word spread that Aling Rosa and her daughter had the best vegetables in town. But while the business was thriving at the market level, Jeraldine's ambitions went beyond selling at a stall. She knew they had potential for something bigger, and for that, she needed more knowledge. Jeraldine had long dreamed of attending college, but coming from a farming family, the idea seemed like a luxury they couldn't afford. Yet, the thought of learning more about business kept tugging at her heart. She imagined how much they could grow if only she could master the skills to take their vegetable business to the next level. One evening, after a long day at the market, Jeraldine sat down with her mother. She laid out her plan. She wanted to continue working in the business, but also enroll in college to study business management. Her mother was hesitant at first. How could Jeraldine balance both responsibilities? But as Jeraldine spoke with passion about her vision for the future, Aling Rosa knew her daughter's determination was unshakable. Chap. Jeraldine's acceptance letter from a prestigious university in the nearby city felt like a dream come true. She was set to study business management, a course that aligned perfectly with her goals of growing their vegetable enterprise. But the reality of balancing a college education with her responsibilities at the market was daunting. Classes started early in the morning, and her evenings were packed with assignments. But Jeraldine wasn't afraid of hard work. She had grown up on a farm, after all. Every day was a delicate balancing act. Jeraldine continued to wake up before dawn to help her mother harvest vegetables. After ensuring the stall was set up at the market, she would rush to the city for classes. Even though she was exhausted, Jeraldine was in her element. At the university, she was exposed to new ideas, concepts, and strategies that opened her mind to the endless possibilities in business. Her professors were experienced entrepreneurs and business leaders, and Jeraldine absorbed their teachings with unmatched enthusiasm. She learned about marketing, supply chain management, finance, and business operations, everything she needed to scale their small vegetable business. On weekends, she applied what she had learned to the family business. She introduced new pricing strategies, organized their inventory more efficiently, and even started an informal loyalty program for regular customers. Slowly, they built a brand within their village, known not just for the quality of their produce, but also for their customer service. But Jeraldine's studies also made her realize how limited their reach was. They were still dependent on foot traffic at the market. To truly grow, they needed to think bigger, expand into wholesale, or even explore the potential of partnering with larger suppliers. Jeraldine knew this wasn't something that could be done overnight, but she was committed to learning everything she could during her time in college. During one of her classes on strategic planning, an idea sparked in Jeraldine's mind. What if they didn't just sell vegetables at the market? What if they could become suppliers to grocery stores and restaurants in the nearby city? It was a bold vision, but Jeraldine was confident they could achieve it with the right knowledge and support. But first, she needed real-world experience. She needed to see how large businesses operated from the inside. That opportunity came when the university announced a highly competitive internship program with major companies in the region. Jeraldine applied without hesitation, determined to test her skills in a corporate environment. After a rigorous selection process, Jeraldine was accepted as an intern at AgroWorld, a leading agribusiness company that specialized in large-scale food production and distribution. It was a pivotal moment in her journey. The company was based in the bustling city, just an hour's drive from her village. Although AgroWorld operated at a scale far beyond what Jeraldine was used to, the principles of their business were still rooted in agriculture, something Jeraldine understood intimately. At AgroWorld, Jeraldine was initially assigned to the logistics department, where her job was to help streamline the supply chain. She quickly grasped the complexity of managing large volumes of produce, from sourcing raw materials to delivering final products to retailers. Although she was just an intern, Jeraldine's work ethic and quick learning caught the attention of her supervisors. While her classmates viewed the internship as a stepping stone to future careers, Jeraldine saw it as an opportunity to gather as much knowledge as possible and bring it back to her family's business. She paid close attention to how AgroWorld managed its suppliers, negotiated contracts, and maintained quality control. She learned about marketing on a larger scale, managing cash flow, and building strong relationships with distributors. One particular mentor at AgroWorld, Mr. Santos, took a special interest in Jeraldine's story. He admired her entrepreneurial spirit and frequently gave her advice on how to expand her family's vegetable business. Under his guidance, Jeraldine began to draft a long-term business plan that could potentially turn their market stall into a regional supplier of fresh produce. During her time at AgroWorld, Jeraldine became even more certain that their future lay in scaling operations. She envisioned a day when they could open a processing plant where vegetables could be cleaned, packaged, and stored before being shipped to larger buyers. By the time her internship ended, Jeraldine had built a network of contacts within the industry and gathered enough insights to begin making serious changes to their family business. But first, she had to finish her degree. After 4 intense years of study, Jeraldine's graduation day finally arrived. As she stood in her cap and gown, surrounded by her family and classmates, she reflected on the long road she had traveled. From the early mornings in the vegetable fields to late nights spent studying, every sacrifice had led her to this moment. She had successfully earned a degree in business management with honors, and with it came an influx of opportunities. The ceremony marked the beginning of a new chapter in Jeraldine's life. She had already received multiple job offers from prominent companies in the agricultural and corporate sectors, but one offer, in particular, stood out. A major agribusiness corporation was offering her the position of corporate secretary. It was an administrative role, but one with significant responsibility and potential for growth. Jeraldine accepted the offer, knowing that the experience would further prepare her for the next phase of her journey. For the next 4 years, Jeraldine thrived in the corporate world. She quickly rose through the ranks, gaining invaluable experience in business operations, corporate governance, and strategic planning. Her position allowed her to interact with top executives, investors, and decision-makers, all of whom offered her insights into running a large-scale business. Despite her growing success in the corporate world, Jeraldine's heart remained with her family's vegetable business. Every weekend, she would return to her village to help her mother manage their operations. But the small-scale market stall no longer satisfied her ambitions. She knew that to reach their full potential, they needed to take a bold step forward. After 4 years in the corporate world, Jeraldine made the decision that would change her family's fortunes forever. She resigned from her high-paying job and returned home to focus on building a processing and storage plant for their vegetable business. It was a risky move, but Jeraldine was ready. With the savings she had accumulated from her corporate job and a small loan from the bank, Jeraldine and her family began construction on a modern vegetable processing and storage plant. The facility was state-of-the-art, designed to clean, package, and store fresh produce, ensuring longer shelf life and higher quality standards. This allowed them to sell not just to local markets, but to major grocery chains, restaurants, and hotels in the city. The plant marked the beginning of a new era for their family business. Geraldine's strategic planning and industry connections quickly paid off. Within months, they secured contracts with several large grocery chains, and soon they were distributing their produce across the region. The business grew exponentially, and with it, their reputation. The once small market stall had transformed into a national supplier of fresh, organic vegetables. Jeraldine became a respected figure in the agricultural sector, known for her innovative approach to farming and business. Her company, now a leader in the industry, provided jobs for dozens of villagers and had a significant impact on the local economy. Their success story inspired countless other farmers to think bigger, proving that with determination, education, and vision, even the smallest of dreams could grow into something extraordinary. As her business empire continued to grow, Jeraldine remained grounded, always remembering the early mornings in the fields with her mother and the humble beginnings that shaped her. She had come a long way from selling vegetables in the market, but her roots would always be in San Isidro, where the seeds of her success were first planted. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel.